Hi, my name's Daniel. I'm a first-year undergraduate economist at Clare College, Cambridge, and I'm from London. Ni hao, wo jiao Daniel. Annyeonghaseyo. Nei lim un Daniel ibnida. We're going to look at a past paper question from IB Economics, and the paper we're going to be looking at is May 2014, Higher Paper 1, and we're looking at question 2A. And question 2A says, using diagrams, explain why a perfectly competitive firm can make economic profit, which is abnormal profit, only in the short run. So to start with, let's think about the key words in the question, which is definitely short run, because a lot of perfectly competitive analysis is looking at the short run, and they're looking at the long run and comparing between the two. So what is best to do is start drawing a short run diagram. So first of all, what is a perfectly competitive firm? A perfectly competitive firm is a small firm in a market full of lots of these small firms, so that each one sells an undifferentiated product and each one has no pricing power. So it can't set price itself, it is a price taker, which is the key determining factor. And a price taker means that price is constant for all units of output, which means marginal revenue, average revenue, demand and price are all the same. And that manifests itself in a straight line or a perfectly elastic demand curve. So let's draw that first. So we've got price here and quantity here, and we've got this perfectly elastic demand curve, MR equals AR equals D and P. So that's that first thing. And the reason for this is if a firm was to set a price higher than that, it would lose the consumers would go to the other firms in the market, so it would lose all its demand, so there wouldn't be demand above, and if it was to go below, it would struggle to be able to make all the goods, so it would have to force the price back up because of rising costs. So that's why it's perfectly elastic and horizontal. So the next thing is to draw on the marginal cost curve, which looks like that, and the average cost curve, which looks like that. And always remember that the average cost curve crosses the marginal cost curve at the minimum of the average cost curve. Okay, so what would the firm want to do? So it wants to profit maximise, as all firms do. So it's going to set its marginal cost equal to its marginal revenue, and that occurs at this point. And this here is the optimum level of output for this firm, Q star. And the profit the firm generates is the difference between the average cost and average revenue, which is here, at Q for every unit at Q star. So you can draw a rectangle and then shade the profit the firm makes. So that's the short run diagram. In the short run, the firm makes profit equal to this area. But what is the difference between the short run and the long run? Well, in the long run, firms can freely enter and exit the market because there are no barriers to entry and exit, and that is another factor of perfect competition because the firms are selling undifferentiated products. And this means that if the firm is making a profit, other firms will be signalled to enter the market, because if you were a firm not sure what to make and you could see there was a lot of profit being made in an industry which you could easily go into, then why wouldn't you? So if we were to then draw the long run diagram, still have the perfectly elastic demand curve, that hasn't changed, MR, AR, D and P, but now we have this instead, where the average cost curve has been increased. And this is because more firms entering the market mean costs rise. And that means at Q star here, the profit is now zero. The firm makes zero profits in the long run, i.e., answering the question, the firm can only make abnormal profit in the short run. And that's because new firms have entered, which pushes the market price down to accommodate. And that is why the firm can only make profits in the short run. So I think to get the 10 marks, it would be very important to draw the two diagrams, explain them fully, and explain why the key determinant is the barriers to entry. There are none in the short run and long run, so firms can freely enter and exit, pushing the market price down and reducing all the profits to zero. The reason it's zero, if any more firms were to enter, they would find when it gets to zero, no firm has any incentive to enter the market, because you wouldn't want to enter the market to gain zero profit. You might as well just not do anything. And if there wasn't if it wasn't quite at zero, more firms would still want to. So it has to equal zero. So this is the long run equilibrium value, where the average cost curve is tangent to the average revenue curve, and the optimal quantity is where the two are tangent, which gives a zero profit. And that's how to answer question 2A.